people, they always ask, where do you find the time? Like, if something's important to you, you always make time.
Absolutely.
Whether it be work, could be family, could be relationship. Like, there's no excuses. If somebody says, I'm too busy, I come back to them and I just ask them, how many series of Netflix did you watch last night? Honestly, like.
Right, people, thank you so much for tuning in into another of my episode. Last one was brilliant. It's been the podcast, I've been trying to keep it consistent, so I try to get one every 2 weeks. Last one I did with Israel, I got amazing feedback and all these mates, and I'll share it over social media, so I'm really grateful for that. But for today's podcast, I have my good friend David Campbell. How are you today, pal?
Hey, Steve.
Oh, good. Why don't you tell everybody a quick 30-second about yourself? Just a brief 30-second.
Hey guys, my name's David Campbell. I'm from Selbridge, 200 and 400 metre runner. Currently I run with the Nor Harriers. I'm track and field captain over there, and I'm also working full-time in e-commerce. So essentially I help businesses sell online in Ireland and internationally.
Now you used to run in Selbridge before, yes?
Yeah,
say it.
Bit of a touchy subject, but no, I came from the ground up in Selbridge.
Okay.
So
how long have you been into the athletics? How long have you been doing athletics?
Probably since I was 14, so about maybe 13 years before that. Badminton, that was kind of my big thing. I was training
badminton?
Yeah, badminton. No, badminton. Badminton was my 200 and 400 metre runner back in the day, so I was training 5-6 days a week for that. Got selected on the Irish team, then...
Oh, we actually see badminton, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Badminton selected for Ireland.
So what happened with badminton then? Just
wasn't
for you?
No, it wasn't even that. Like, I literally loved it to bits, but my coach, he moved over to Wales.
Okay.
It's a bit loud. So then kind of picked up the running. Like, when I first started, I was horrific. Like, in 4x200 metre relay, I was usually second, maybe third runner with the lads. I could just see them. Jesus, Dave's getting the baton. It's like, what are we going to do?
Was that in Selbridge when...
Yeah, that's in Selbridge. So
how long did you spend here?
In Selbridge?
Yeah.
Probably 4 or 5 years. To be fair, it was great. Absolutely loved it. The crew, like, we had some unbelievable runners.
Yeah.
Des Doyle, Miles, he was my coach back in the day. With
the OGs,
yeah. We'd say, like, he's international. He's Nigeria's fastest man at the moment, and he was my training partner. So I absolutely loved it. Like, our relays were untouchable with that. But when I was probably 17, 18 years old, my coach Miles, I was the only 400 metre runner here, so he said maybe it's time to look elsewhere. So that's where the Nor Harriers came, and haven't really looked back.
Cool. Now, for you've been in athletics, what did you say, 13
years. Probably didn't take it serious until 17, 18, so the last maybe 9 years.
Yeah. One thing I want to ask you is, for those upcoming athletes in track and field, what advice would you give to them? What thing have you learned throughout the 13 years that you wish you known back then when you were like 16, 17? So what would you say to them?
Most important thing is literally you just gotta enjoy it, whether you're 3 years old, whether you're 13, whether you're 30 years old. The most important thing, like, I used to go through maybe season 2 or 3 times a year. Hated athletics, wanted to quit, whether it be an injury, something just doesn't go wrong. But
do you know, every single person, I did one with Lauren, I did one with Israel, they said the same thing as well. Is that do you think that's a common thinking, a common way of thinking for athletes, where the things doesn't go right, the first thing that comes in the head, quit?
It's not quit, it's just...
Like, what I'm trying to say, do you think it's common? Like, because Lauren and Israel said the same thing, so do you think other people would think the same thing as well?
Like, athletes would be very, very similar probably in that mindset, but, like, you got to kind of put yourself in their shoes. So they're training 5-6 days a week, they know exactly what they're doing, and then if you get an injury, not just a strain, if you get a serious injury, your life's essentially turned upside down. I'm meant to be at the track on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't have that anymore. I'm in the gym. I'm kind of focused on eating good. Like, everything just, it goes out the window. So, like, David Gillick, he's my favourite athlete in the world. Absolutely look up to that guy. You can say Usain Bolt is the greatest athlete in the world, but
the 400 metre runner.
400 metre runner from Dundrum, South Dublin, double European champion. He put 400 metre running on the map for Ireland. Like, he's running 44 seconds, and it's incredible.
Have you run against him before?
No, And I'm absolutely, I'm dying. So basically, when he
you'll be a big fanboy when you see it.
I would have literally, like, when I was Savage Athletic Club singlet, like signed by Gillick. Like,
really?
Literally,
Yeah.
I done a school project.
I see you have that on the wall. I see you have that on the wall. You look at that before you go to bed every night.
No, not anymore. But,
Not anymore.
Like, I done a school project on Gillick.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. So,
do you know what, one day maybe we'll get a podcast. I'll do a podcast with him and invite you as well.
No, honestly, love that. But like he was one of the best athletes Ireland's ever had, like 400 meter running. But he got a terrible injury a couple of years ago, and like he was under the impression, like he was depressed. He didn't know what to do. He tried all different things.
He doesn't run anymore, does he?
No, he's retired. So like he does Celebrity MasterChef. He's as his book. He's big into like mental health at the moment, which is really important. So I think you just gotta focus on the positive in any negative situation. Like if something happens, if I get injured for some reason, I can work on something to prevent maybe a future injury. You know, like there's always a kind of positive.
And is that something that you do at the moment?
It is. Yeah. To be fair, like it took about.
So for those who doesn't know, David is an injury prone fella. How many times? Well, okay, that's the wrong question. The right question would be, when are you not injured? So you're not injured at the moment. That's good. That's good.
I'm racing tomorrow. You're racing please tomorrow. God, I'm not going to be okay.
Okay, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. No, but what's the common injuries in track and field? Hamstrings, I would say.
Hamstring for years.
Calves,
I had problems. Calves, Achilles. I had a small tear. Calf. I tore it a week before warm weather training last year. So that was kind of a nightmare. So like last year in terms of athletics, don't get me wrong, like on paper it looks great. Like we won Leinster Indoor Championships, we won the National Outdoor 400 meter, National Indoor League, we were second in that. Like it was great. Brilliant. I was literally getting to a race and then that was me done.
So you weren't 100% going into that race, you weren't 100%?
Literally get me fit into the race, and then after my body just broke down. Last year I nearly quit athletics last year. I was I'm done, you know? Like anything that could have went wrong on track and field last year, like you're going down to the track, putting on a happy face when inside you're just like, don't want to be here.
Yeah.
You know, anybody who's got like a hamstring injury, you always know like how long it's going to take to get back from that. Yeah. But at the back of your mind, Jesus, is this going to go? You know, like I'm going full whack. If I'm kind of doubting myself in the mind, more than likely something's going to happen. It's similar like with my calf, for example. Like I was terrified to put in a pair of spikes. You know.
Yeah. Okay. But you've dealt with that before, so...
Yeah, too many times.
No, but that's one thing I talked with Israel in the last podcast, because as we go through the same problems over and over again, you learn how to do it. So would you say you've coped with the problem now, even though let's say it might happen?
A lot better now, but you kind of like at my age now, like I'm not obviously right in my prime. I'm not a juvenile. I'm nearly got masters at this stage. But just any advice for any kind of young up and coming athletes, if you have a niggle, do not race. You know, it's not the end of the world. Like there's no point risking your entire season for one race, you know.
Okay,
just be smart and listen to your body. Like if you have a pain or a niggle, like that's a warning sign, you know. Literally, you just gotta reinforce like every single thing you've been doing on the training track. You know, like you've put the work in here. Like you've been grinding from September to August. You know, you see the times. You know, it's literally this is your opportunity. What's the point in training 5-6 days a week if you're not gonna put the foot down
I always say to every person, like I had this conversation with almost all my mates. I think
I'm guilty of it myself.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
You know?
That's why we talk. That's why I love talking about these kind of stuff with all my mates. It's just what I believe is self-doubt is gone by actions. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you said, if you're up there training 5 or 6, you know, if you're training up in the track, you put the work in. Do you know what I mean? You will be fine. But at the same time, some people always keep doubting themselves. That's one thing I talked with Lauren in my podcast. The question was so I asked Lauren this question. If you had a 1 hour therapy session, what would you talk about the most? And the one thing that I told her is self-doubt. Yeah. What would your answer be if you have a 1 hour therapy session?
It's probably like psychology, you know. So I done my undergraduate in National College Brown, and at the time I was lucky enough we got a scholarship on that. So we got different support, whether it be kind of training, physio, but one of the most important things that we actually got a psychologist. Okay. So this was a general guy, and we were in a group. So we had some Dublin footballers, with some Irish boxers, with swimmers and everything, but everybody's on the same goal, you know. Like, you're determined, you're dedicated in your field, and you obviously want to be constantly improving. You want to be striving to be better every single day, because if you're being stagnant, what's the point in doing it? You know, there's no love, or you don't get any drive or excitement, you know. So they were kind of trying to put us in a mindset, and we kind of visualised this with maybe colours.
So I'm just going to interrupt you there for a second, sorry about that, but can you walk me through the steps that you have to go through? Like, what were the methods? You mentioned just the I never can pronounce that word. What is
so
it?
Like visualization.
Go on.
Yeah. So basically,
visualization. Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. I think you're sitting in the blocks, you know, and that can be the longest wait in history.
Yes,
you know?
it is. Yeah.
So by the time the starter calls you get on your marks, set. You're sitting in the blocks. You're kind of thinking that's where you're going to pretty much win or lose the race. Okay. If you have any sort of doubt in your mind, that's it. Okay. You're gone. Yeah. You got to focus on every single thing that your training partners, your coach have been drilling into you. Literally out hard, hands up. You're in your drive phase, you know, because too many times, for example, like 60 meters, second a gun goes,
boom.
That's it. What the hell do I do? I just run. You look back on the video. Why the hell did I do that? You know, it's all about pretty much all the top athletes. You always hear the saying, execute. That's the thing. Like, you want to execute your race strategy, and you're doing that on the training field, whether it be in the gym. But you got to implement that kind of best practice and put it into real day.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. And
at the end of the day, like, it's literally it's yourself. Like, why would you not do this? You know, you're letting yourself down. People say, why run? It could be, say, friends, family, from a coach, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you're the only person in that start line. So literally, do it for yourself. It's very
lonely.
You know?
that 60 meter, 200 meter, 400 meter. It's the loneliest place.
Like, running, to be fair, is lonely, and like, we're lucky in the sense that, like, we've, to know Harry's, we love the guys, to be fair. Like, it's an absolute family,
too, yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it is.
And different kind of athletes actually come up to us on the track, and it's like, you know, we actually kind of like what you guys have.
Yeah. Okay. My next question would be, because I'm glad you mentioned that. What makes a great club?
It's people in it, you know. Like, everybody's on the same level, but like, when we have kind of like high performing athletes, so you see, might be Aoife Lynch, Jack Raftery, Lewis O'Loughlin, John Travers, for example. Like, these are all the Irish internationals. They're striving, but like, if we can see somebody in our club, this is my training partner, you know, if they can do it,
hard,
if they can do it, why can't we do it? But that obviously drives everybody else on. And then, like, if we do maybe a relay, we do National League, and we're getting medals on national level, you know. Like, the boys, we won Leinster Indoor Championships last year. We won National Outdoor Championships in the 4x4, which is unbelievable. And you just broke
the club record.
Broke the club record for the 4x2 indoor championships. That was a National League. Like, the boys, they smoked it. But that gets everybody hyped, excited, you know, and it gets everybody in a positive mindset, because we're really, really lucky in the North that we have a group of really, really talented athletes, but certain athletes, they may never get to national or international level with their Irish singlet. So, like, National League is really, really good opportunity, because if you win National Outdoor League in Premier Division, you get to represent Ireland, like the European Club Championships. Massive, you know. So that's our goal for the year. We've a few. So we want to win Leinster Indoor Championships. That's coming up in 2 weeks. We want to retain.
Are you going to compete in the Leinster? Yeah.
The 4x2 relay.
I think the celebration will be there as well.
Yeah, we're gonna smoke it again.
Probably you will. Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna get offended, but yeah, fuck it. You guys will anyway. No, but because I train with you guys for about 2 months on Saturdays, and you guys are amazing. All the lads are sound and all.
It's a family though, but like,
it is a good family.
Like, I don't have a brother, for example, but
you're the only sibling. I mean, sorry, were you only child? Your sister?
No. So I have one sister and I have 2 nephews, but I don't have a brother. But like, some of the younger lads, like, we're so close. We're training like 4 or 5 days a week. Like, Jack Raftery is like my bro. You know this sort of way?
That's very sweet.
I look up to Jack literally, like, I don't know, there's years apart. Yeah, pretty much, like, there's years apart from us, but like, the chap, like, he's 6'4", super talented, like, he's the real deal, you know. So, and I really hope he does well.
And what kind of qualities that you look into a coach as well? Because I've touched with Israel last podcast how a coach can have so much influence on the athlete.
Yeah.
So what have you learned from your different coaches? Because you have a few coaches in your life, no, as in from transition from Selbridge to Denor, now to Emily as well. So what have you learned what are the different traits that have you learned from these coaches that has helped you throughout your career?
Everybody's different.
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
the same thing. It's not going to work for every athlete, and you have to respect that. So when I was in Selbridge, like my main coach, it was Miles Hand, and best in the world. He lived 2 doors around the corner from me, so it was great. But he got me. Okay, he supported me throughout. He was calling me a couple of days a week, literally checking in, like if I had exams, stuff like that.
Okay.
How did that go? How did you feel recovery after that session? And that's really, really important. Then when I moved to Denora, so it's kind of slotted in with Ian Morrison. So he's a former club president, absolutely amazing guy, really, really supportive, but he was just helping me out, okay? Then I got put into Jerry Ronan. Probably the most...
That's your third coach, isn't it?
Third coach, yeah. I know, Jesus, nobody can say with me. Like,
No,
I don't know if it's me or them. Like,
no, but that's what I'm very curious.
Yeah.
If you got loads of coaches, I want to see what kind of stuff have you learned throughout these different coaches.
Jerry was probably the most educated coach you'll ever get. He was following World Athletic Centre, Atlas, you name it. Like, there's method to his madness. Like, it was so specific to training. I got results, but the only thing is I didn't have that really close bond, unfortunately. So, and you have to have that, you know, like you have to be able to talk to your coach, for example.
But from what I've heard from all these 3 coaches, everybody had something that the other ones
something
didn't
different,
have.
but like you got to apply that, and you're never going to find like the
perfect
fit,
coach.
But at the same time, like a coach is essentially like a parent. You have to be able to look up to those athletes, and if you don't have that like special relationship, like it doesn't matter how good the coach is, it's not going to work for you. Because I don't know, like I could be going through some problems or something at home, for example, work, college, you name it, like but if the coach doesn't understand that and they just brush it off like it's not important, well then something's going to happen. I'm not going to perform on the racetrack, I'm going to pick up an injury, you know, I'm going to get upset, or I'm going to just drop athletics, you know. So you have to think about the bigger picture.
Wow.
So like athletes can come down and they can come down to the track, you can have a smile on your face, everybody thinks happy as Larry. I'm guilty of it myself, but you know, you could be having the worst day of your life, you know, like something could be terribly going on wrong. So like that's kind of, even with your athletes, with your friends, literally check up on them, you know. It's really, really important, like mental health and just wellness. Like it's a massive obvious topic at the moment. So like it doesn't cost or it doesn't kill you to
talk
literally
to
just So even in work, like if somebody has a chat with me, hey Dave, what's up, how's training going, like little things like that makes a difference. Same with your friends and family, how's training going, seeing you done well last week, something like that, you know. It kind of gives you a bit of a lift. Like people actually pretty much they kind of give a shit what you're doing. Like it's not just sure you run up and down straight lines. How is that?
Do you know, I again everything that you said, I mentioned this with Lauren on the 2 podcasts ago, and we were talking about small talks and how they can, like, personally I hate small talks, but it can have a bit of advantage, a bit of benefit to them. For example, like we were saying in work, or just I don't know, in, like let's
just
say
chit chat.
Hey, how's things? But you don't really give a shit about. Do you know, if I ask you how's things, but I don't really give a shit about you. But it still helps.
Thanks.
Do you know? An example, right? So I think deeper question is what built a great relationship, friendship. So as for you, well, I've never told this to anybody, even from the lads from the North. Of all the lads in the North, don't get, like, you guys are sound, they're very cool, but you are very chatty, you're very smiley every time I see you. And do you have any strategies, do you have any secrets? Like you also mentioned that you might be going through like a rough day, but you still put a smile on your face. Do you do that on purpose, or does that come unconsciously?
I do it on purpose, to be fair, like, because why would I be negative?
Why would you send your problems to? Would you send your problems to other
every
people?
other person, like, they could be stressed, they could be going through their own problems. Like, why would I kind of inflict that on somebody else? You have to respect that, but at the same time, it kills me inside if somebody's negative or pessimistic. Literally in work, college,
you are
racing,
a
I'm
very
literally
optimistic
just like
person,
I don't want to know you. You know, if you're going to talk like this, oh, how you feeling before the race? Oh, geez, I don't know, I'm not going to run well today. It's just like, well, of course you're not going to do it with that mindset. You know?
That mindset.
But it's the same in work.
You can tell by body language and facial expressions as well.
But like, even I could be going into a presentation, for example, or I had to do some big project in work, and in the back of my head I might be a bit overwhelmed, second I get into that room, you're game face on, you know, 100% confident, this is my gig, you're going to deliver, you're going to smash it, end of. Because confidence is contagious, you know. Like, I see Jack Rafter or something going into a race full of confidence, 6 feet tall, the man, he's going to deliver, you know, sort of way.
Yeah, 6 foot tall, he has confidence.
Yeah, 6'4",
Yeah.
literally you have to do that. So like tomorrow, like, is the first time in a long time I'm feeling fit, I'm feeling healthy, really, really positive. I'm going in there, this is my race, you know, like, I'm going in, I'm going
That's
to deliver,
good,
and I don't know, you just got to be up for it, you know.
Yeah, deadly. So with that being said,
negativity gets you nowhere, like, end of the day, you know. And anybody who's going to be negative, whether it be any scenario, like, why, you just eat yourself up inside, you know. You're not going to do well in your training, you're going to start binge eating, for example. Like, it's not going to do any favours. Your friends, family, like, they don't need that.
And how would you tell someone to get out of the negative?
You gotta find them, but literally, like, you just gotta talk to somebody, you know. Like, that's a terrible weakness of mine, talking about my feelings. Like, this is something I probably wouldn't have done, you know.
I'm very grateful that you've done it though.
But I don't know, like, some lads and stuff like that, like, talking about your feelings, you feel kind of weak or stuff like that, like, and it shouldn't be like that, you know.
I think
if you have a problem, talk to somebody. Like, there's no shame. Your friends and family, that's what you're there for. You know, I
think humility is a big problem. Exactly what you said. People feel weak. Do you know what I mean? Like, as a coach, as an athlete, let's say if someone asks me something and I say I don't know, or vice versa, if I don't know something and I ask someone else, and that person, like, for me, I don't feel that. I used to feel that way, but not anymore. But I'm putting myself in other people's shoes. They might feel that they're not. They don't belong, like, they shouldn't be doing what they're doing because they have, do you know what I mean? Because they don't know. And I think that's the wrong way of going about it. Because you don't know anything. Do you know what I mean? People think they should know everything. As a coach, you should know everything. You're human, exactly.
Literally, like nobody's perfect. Like, and if somebody says I have a perfect life, you have a perfect family, it doesn't exist. They're lying. You know, every single person, like, life can be shit, life can be cruel, but you just get on with it. You know, like, I don't know, what's the point in being negative? Like, that's not going to get you anywhere at the end of the day.
Absolutely. So with that being said, what's the one trait that you look for when you're meeting somebody?
What, a girl or a date?
No, because we're talking about relationship and friendship. What's the one trait that you look for, apart from being positive?
Being positive, but somebody just genuine, straight up. Okay. Like, I don't know, just be yourself. Like, too many people, like, they try to be somebody else, whether it be, I don't know, you go into a different group, like, I don't know, I should act like this. There's like a persona. You could be like America or something. You could have the jocks. You could have, I don't know, band camp thoughts or something like that. Like, you're just trying to be a stigma just to fit in with society. But I'm just like, at the end of the day, like, even in a relationship, for example, like, you might have that attraction initially and you might be trying to be somebody else, but what's going to keep it kind of going longevity? That's yourself. Like, that's just being down to earth. That's if they don't accept you for who you are.
Absolutely.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah. That's a very good point. Very good point. I like that answer. Next question I'm going to ask you is: so 13 years into athletics, right? Yep. Celebrate to the north. What's your favorite moment in athletics?
It's a toughie. To be fair, used to love it out here in Selbridge.
No, of all. It doesn't matter if it's in Selbridge, doesn't matter if it's in the north. Just your favourite moment. Is it about winning the relay? Is it about breaking the club record, or don't know, getting a PB? Anything?
Best feeling, I'd say we won national outdoor championships.
Yeah.
So that was Division 1, and that was in 2014. So basically, 2012 we were, 2011 we were 4th, 2012 we were 3rd. 2013 we were 3rd, but basically how it works is in Division 1, 1st and 2nd get promoted up to Primary Division, but we were in the mindset that no, we don't want 2nd, like, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. So this was like 3-4 years, the lads busting their balls, you know, coaches, athletes, you name it, all supporters, like, every single person coming together as one, and like, the boys, we delivered. Like, we get the middle distance lads, we get the field events lads, we get the sprinters. Like, that's where the kind of family aspect comes into it, and it's more than just a running club, you know, sort of way, like. So basically, like, when I'm track and field captain, like, I kind of feel like I have a role or a duty to help the lads, support them, anything they need, but also get the lads and the squad 100% fitness onto the start line whether it be your sprinters, your middle distance lads, your field eventers, everybody's as one coming together, and we only get this twice a year, you know, sort of way.
Okay.
So it's a big,
So like a
it's
little
special,
meeting.
and like we go to Portugal next month, and
Yeah.
that's one thing. We'll all sit down in a room. We can be playing this thing called Uno. So Emily got us into Uno, and Paul Clark, and literally it's like a game of Snap or something, and everybody, we kill each other,
Yeah.
you know. But it's like kind of Denor, that's kind of our thing. We go to Portugal, we chill, but like one night we'll all sit down and we'll have it out about National League. We'll talk about what went well, what maybe didn't go well, and like this year we've one goal, like it's to win. Like everybody's like, don't know, Clonlive, you're never going to beat them. But I'm just like, you look at our athletes on paper, like we honestly, we can do it. Like, and all the lads, they genuinely believe, and touch wood.
You just need one. You just need one.
It's just commitment, though. Like, because like if we can get all our lads, all the ladies on the start line, 100% fitness come National League final, like good luck, someone touching us, you know. Like that's the mindset that we went in National Indoor League with the relay, smoked them. You know, nobody could touch. Like we had an 80 meter lead in that.
One thing I really like when you say, from what I've heard, you have a good communication with all the athletes as a team leader.
Yeah.
And do you think that plays a big role?
I think I have to. It kind of comes down to Zing, what I was saying about, say, the athletes and the coaches. Every single person's different. Okay. Yeah. I know what might work well for Jack Rafter or something. I can talk to him. Adam Halpin, for example, I know what might work well with him. Jack Raftery, already said it with him. Zach Higgins, Darren Macaulay, the middle distance lads. Like, you know, over years, like how to deal with somebody, and if I need to say something to someone in particular to get them up on the day, if I need a favour from somebody, you know, like they kind of respect it, because at the end of the day, I respect them too. I'd never put them in a position that they're uncomfortable. If I have to come to an event, I had to do 60 meter hurdles indoors. Terrible. Absolutely hate it. Absolutely. It's a death trap.
How did you get on?
Know? If you want to talk about that, I got over the hurdles. But no, you just got to respect the athletes. You got to look after them. There's a bigger picture, but also you got to respect the coaches. So if we're dealing with kind of different groups, you can't just kind of bully your way into that. I want this person, I want that person. Like if I'm cautious of somebody as well, if they're doing multiple races, I won't put pressure on them to do them, because at the end of the day, I want the team to win.
It's about the team, it's not about the individual.
Well, it is obviously about the team, but at the same time, Paul McDermott, for example, he ran 200 metres over the space of 2 days, like all under 22 seconds, and I was cautious in the back of my head. Like, he had hamstring problems before, so Paul, I want the team to win, but if you're not feeling 100%, don't do it. I'm not going to put you in that situation, because I don't want to risk his season for one kind of cheap win. You know, sort of way.
That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear.
But they respect you for that.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely. I respect you a lot for that. yeah, that's great, man. So, I'm very glad. Like, you have that leadership kind of style in you. So big respect for you for that.
I also bribed them with Christmas cream, and they know that.
Okay. Now you just talked to me about leadership and all that, right? So do you bring that leadership to your life in terms of work, in terms of, don't know, family or other friends, as in a group when you guys hanging out? Are you always that guy that takes the leadership role? Right, we do like plan everything.
I do it from kind of like projects, planning stuff like that in work, but like the one nice thing about athletics is it kind of makes you understand that you have to be grateful and you have to put in the work, because results are not going to happen overnight. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, like the old cliche, but it's 100% true. And like anybody, whether it be college students, they're looking for different jobs. If you're involved in sport at a high level, you're dedicated, you're motivated, employers to respect that. So everything I hate in interviews and stuff like that, you didn't get 100% on your test, you didn't get an A, you didn't get a B. It's irrelevant. You know, you could be the brightest person in the world, but you've no people skills. You know,
So and do you think people skills plays a huge role? Yeah,
people skills. Like, you can't train that into somebody. Like, it's either there or it's not.
You think so?
You know, this sort of way. Like, you can study, you can be great. Anybody can memorize something in a book, but I'm like, the actual person, the individual, like their personal qualities. Like, that's what they respect you for at the end of the day. If you're loyal, you're dedicated, you're motivated, you can train somebody, you can upskill someone in that field, but like employers, you know, they respect that. You know, I see that in work, all the jobs, people how do you do it, you know? So I don't know, you could be studying for college on the side, you could be working full time, you could be training. People, they always ask, where do you find the time? Like, if something's important to you, you always make time.
Absolutely.
Whether it be work, could be family, could be relationship. Like, there's no excuses. If somebody says I'm too busy, I come back to them and I just ask them, how many series of Netflix did you watch last night? Honestly, like, you know.
I know.
So if it's important, you make time for it, and you just gotta prioritize it.
Absolutely. And also, there's nothing wrong with doing what you want to do. Do you know what I mean? But if it's not helping your future, then it's pointless. Do you get me?
Like, at the end of the day, like, your heart has to be in it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, we work with kind of different influencers and stuff in work, and you have to be careful because they have to be right for your brand value. They have to actually buy into the product, but you can kind of get burned really, really easy. So they could be looking for a quick buck or something, but that's not going to do anybody a favour. So if you're trying to sell a product, you're working with an influencer, for example, like, if they're coming across as fake, it's just not going to work.
So how would you motivate someone then? Whether an athlete, an employee?
In work?
Yeah.
Or
just
athletes?
in general, using that leadership style that you mentioned.
You just literally, you gotta sit down with them, you just gotta reinforce, like, they know what they're doing, you know, like, they're here for a reason. Like, you wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be talking to you otherwise, you know, like, you've done the work, I trust in you.
Okay.
Like, you're the one who's taking the lead in this. I'm sitting back because I'm 100% confident that you're going to deliver, and you should be too, because you know this inside out. It's like, I don't know, you could memorise something 100 times and you could absolutely kill it. Then the second it comes to maybe a presentation, geez, I don't know, that's where I get kind of jittery. I'm sitting in the blocks, don't know, X person's outside me, X person's inside me, don't know about this, but it's just like, just believe in yourself, you know? Like, like, if you don't, nobody else is. You know, this sort of way.
I get you. And I think people need to take responsibility for their own self.
Yeah,
most of the time as well.
Like, too many people, they just sit back in society and they're happy to kind of coast by. Somebody else will do it. And I call the boys out on it sometimes, you know, at the track. It's like, I don't know, like, because it's a big responsibility for the coaches, you know? They're planning the sessions, they're marking out what it be cones, hurdles, they're doing the warm-ups, everything, but like, the least the athletes can do is just ask them for a bit of help, you know? That sort of way. Like, it doesn't cost anything, but just like, lads, come on, like, you know, do you have to do everything for you, like, you know?
Yeah, like a bit initiative.
That's the thing, like, but like, in work as well, like, geez, I don't know, where would I find that information? Lads, Google it. You know, seriously, like, YouTube it. It's got me through so many things at work, which I'm saying, but I'm just like,
you're not targeting any specific people?
No.
Okay. Cool. What? So, of all the things that you mentioned, but try to encourage the athletes or the employee to take initiative. You know what I mean? To show that they do give a fuck. But what kind of stuff that you're not okay with?
In work or
both. Again, I'm trying to do is trying to get them two together.
Somebody's not honest, you know.
Yeah.
That's a big no for me. Like, morals are so important. You could, whether it be on the track, whether it be in work scenario, like, if I can see somebody saying something to one person and they're saying a different thing to somebody else.
Okay, so
that's not
kind
cool.
of like a backstabber, like talking behind their back and
kind of, yeah.
Like having
you have to be responsible.
Having a two-face, basically.
Yeah, well, that too. Like, you're responsible for your actions. Like, Ireland, it's a small place, you know. Like, we see it in work. People tell, don't know, certain companies don't do this, don't partner with somebody else,
right.
And it's just like, it comes back at the end of the day. Like, karma's a bitch, you know.
True, it is, yeah.
And it's not going to get you anywhere. Like, if you try burning your bridge to get like a quick win, that's not going to pay off in the long run, because like, people, they find out, you know.
And there's an old saying as well: if you want to build the tallest building, you can either build the tallest building or you can build a small one and destroy the other buildings around you.
That's the thing, like, and you just got to be grateful for everybody who's going to look after you, you know. Like, I don't know, here in Selbridge, you know, for example, like, these guys were always great to me, and if they ever needed something, I'm more than happy to help out, you know, the sort of way. Same with, don't know, different companies I work with, for example. You could be a small family-owned business, but if I have a good relationship with those guys, I'm always going to look out for them, like if they need advice, information.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Same with, I don't know, we work with kind of big global brands. You could be Samsung, you could be Harvey Norman, you could be Dyson, for example, Google, Facebook, all these guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same principle. Like, if these guys were good to me, I'm going to look after them. If they need a favour, like, they know I'm not going to screw them over, you know?
Okay. So, of all that thing you just said, being leadership in all other areas, do you find when you're home, before going to bed, do you feel there's a sort of pressure on you? Would that affect other areas of your life? Being responsible for athletics and work, does that affect your life? Do you feel like
sometimes...
Do you feel like it's too much?
You can get overwhelmed, like.
Yeah.
You can, like, but that's only natural. But like, that's where it's up to other people to kind of take a bit of initiative or responsibility. So like, one person can't do everything.
Yeah.
Like, if you're trying to do X, Y, Z, something's gonna fall. You know, like it's the same. Like, I was working full time. I was in college full time. I was trying to train full time. But if you're not getting sleep, recovery, for example, something's gonna happen. That's when like an injury pops up. Like, you're asking for it, you know, sort of way. Like, if you're not, you can't be happy 24/7, you know, sort of way.
Yeah.
You always make an effort, but like, everyone's human, you know, sort of way. And yeah, like friends, family, your work colleagues, for example, they have a duty to look out for you and like just support you, you know. They don't have to be doing all the work, but like, if you can do a favour, help somebody out on the side, just do it, you know.
Yeah, I to add on to that, I think what you just said was brilliant. It's well put together. I think you need to take care of yourself first in order to help other people. Do you know, like,
that's the thing. Like, basically, like, if you're not fit and healthy, like, you're not good to anybody, you know. And you hear so many times, like, with different organisations, you're just a number, okay? So like, first and foremost, like, that's one thing that athletics actually kind of, it sounds bad, but it kind of teaches you, like, you have to be selfish, you know. Like, it's a
There's nothing wrong with being, I love being selfish. But
yeah, I do too.
No, there's a saying, if you want to be selfless, you have to be selfish.
Yeah.
So if you want to give a hand to someone, you have to able to take your own hand. You get me?
But like, yeah, sorry, you can scrap that bit. Kind of blank. Yeah, alright.
Yes, I'm blanked out as well. But that's a very good. I really enjoy the way you said that. Take care of yourself first. Before you help someone.
That's like, there's nothing wrong with that, because like, at the end of the day, like, athletics, it's a lonely sport, you know, sort of way. Yeah. We get maybe 3-4 chances a year. We do a relay, favourite times of the year, run a 4x4 with the boys, but that's it.
Only for 45, 50 seconds.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. Well, no, it depends on the event, lads. Come on, I'm not that bad. But yeah, like, certain times you can look back and it's like, gee, should I be doing athletics? Like, was it playing was it playing rugby? Like, you love that team sport, you know, because in athletics, it's all about yourself. Like, you have to be able to perform at the highest level once you go into competition. It's not a case of somebody else can do the work.
Yeah.
Like, you see the Irish rugby team today, for example, like, they're playing Scotland. It could be Johnny Sexton, it could be Conor Murray. Like, these are your leaders of the pack. Like, they can kind of draw together. They'd be firing on all cylinders. Somebody else may be able to kind of backlog on that, you know, sort of way. But in athletics, you don't have that. Like, I can't go into a 400 meter and
it's not. It's an individual sport.
That's the thing. I can't run really hard for 60 meters, chill for 150, and then click my fingers. Oh, everything's gonna be all grand. No, it won't be grand. You know, you get fanned out. But like, athletics kind of teaches you a lot of kind of different morals, in the sense that, especially with 400 meters, you can't hide. If you haven't done the work, you're going to be found out very, very quickly. So it's good for the kids as well, because it kind of gives them a bit of initiative. It just shows them, like, if you put in work, you're going to get results, and you can apply that pretty much to any aspect.
Would you ever think about becoming a coach?
No. I don't. No.
I didn't even thinking. That was a big no straight away. No.
Not right now.
Not right now. Okay, fair enough.
Like, over the years, the past couple of years, I probably haven't achieved everything I wanted.
In terms of being an
athletics, yeah. So, like, in my head, like, I still pretty much have the best to come, you know. Like, I'm obviously getting older, but I haven't pretty much reached that potential.
Optimistic, okay, yeah.
So, like, I don't want to. I'm all happy to help out younger athletes, coaching if they need anything. That's absolutely fine. But at the same time, if I'm going to be a coach, I want to know hand on heart that I gave it my best shot. You know, sort of way. It's the same with any international athletes. You see, like David Gillick, Usain Bolt. Like, it comes a time in their career they obviously have to call a halt. Like, you can't keep performing. You know, it's your genetics, like your body.
Yeah,
it's
time beats you. Yeah. You can't.
It does, but at the same time, like, just don't have regrets. You know, whether you're in work, it can be life, it can be training.
So, do you know, in terms of regret, do you have anything in the past?
I don't know.
I've asked almost every person that's been in a podcast that question.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, kind of when you're younger, like,
it's always
athletics is your life, you know, sort of way, and you're kind of drill. Huh?
I'm not going on my ass, just sore.
You drill into the mindset that obviously you have to put into the work, you have to do the training, whether it be gym, your nutrition, your sleep, everything has to happen, Kate, for these small kind of results to click. And like when you're kind of younger, there's a massive kind of pressure on like college students, especially when they go first year into college, everybody out, they might go on nights out, but you can't always do that, you know, like you can't go out 2-3 nights a week and expect to kind of perform. So is that your regret then? No, it's like you miss some opportunities, but
it's always the stuff that you don't do.
It's a sacrifice, you know, sort of way. So I didn't do a J one summer. Like, I didn't go to the States when a lot of my friends done that. But the main reason I done that was for athletics. But I was happy with that, you know.
Yeah, because athletics is your priority.
Yeah, and like I've nothing against it. Absolutely love good night out with mates, but at the same time, you feel terrible the next day. You know, hangover. I'm getting older. I'm actually getting them. But like I get so much kind of satisfaction from a really, really good track session. Like, you feel the endorphins, you feel so good inside, like really, really positive. And then it kind of broadcasts to everything else. One thing also, I kind of wanted to look kind of internationally. So I still obviously would love to do it, but
as in internationally, what?
From working. So
from working, okay.
I want to go to New York. I want that big. Because I was looking at your Instagram. You've been quite a few places. You've been to Japan, traveling like,
wise,
absolutely. I've no problem like spending my money on experiences. So like that's what a lot of people say, and 100% embrace it. Why would you spend it on products? Like, spend your money on experiences. We went to Japan, China, you name it, like States. I go every year. We go to Formula 1 Grand Prix, and I love that. But those are the best memories. Like, those are the ones that you look back, you know, with your friends, family, and you're just gonna make experiences with those guys, you know. And that's why athletics, like, it's really, really nice, because the people that you meet over the years, like, we got an awful lot of kind of different training partners from different countries, different
backgrounds, from cultures.
But you still keep in touch with those. Like,
absolutely.
Some of these guys, like, your friends for life.
Actually, like, that's my exact reason why I was training with you guys as well, because I want to get out I was still training with Selbridge, but I just want to experience other stuff as well.
So like, say when we used to train here in Selbridge, for example, like, he's Nigeria's fastest man. Still in touch. You can drop him a message. Like, he's really, really cool with that. We had French athletes, we had German athletes. One of the lads, Christian from Germany, like, he comes over here to compete for us, which is good. Another guy.
It's crazy when you look back, like, as in, you just won't think this will happen. As in, do you know, like, that event will turn into something even greater. Do you get me? So,
but even people like who don't run, for example, like some of our mates. There's a guy, Sean Lawler.
Yeah.
He was unbelievably talented, like, and he just doesn't run anymore. So he was our superstar back in the day for the Northern areas. But like, we went to Diamond League meets with him.
Is he the guy with a beard?
No. Okay. He stopped running probably back when he was junior. So he was on the Irish relay squad. They set national junior record. They went to the World Championships. Oh yeah, super talented, like, really, really good.
Some wind.
But like, he's not running anymore, unfortunately. But still in touch with him, you know. He's still always going to be really, really good mates. We went to Diamond Leagues together. We got on the same track over in Rome. We're like the Usain Bolt. Unbelievable experiences.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, like, there's nothing wrong. Like, that's, you just respect it, you know. If it's not for somebody, if somebody's not happy, like, don't force them to do something, you know. Like, you gotta look after them. So it's like, when you're looking back, like, you just have to be grateful, you know, because I don't know, some people, they imagine all this perfect lifestyle. Geez, I wish I had that, I wish I had this. But like, when you kind of look back in your own situation,
that's I don't like when people
it's
say
superficial.
Wishing is a very dangerous way to start a sentence. Do you get me?
Yeah.
like
I never look back, you know, and just say, like, I don't know, if you do something, just learn from that, you know, sort of way. But I'm pretty much, it sounds kind of cheesy, but I'm a big believer in the sense that everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
Whether it be an injury, I don't know, you could do something well in work, or something bad could happen.
Of course,
you know?
Of course, yeah.
But like, I don't know, life goes on, you know?
No, it is a very, very, very good, true statement as well. Life happened for a reason, and I hate people who dwells too much. Do you know what I mean? Instead of being grateful of that little.
And that's where it comes. But that's where it comes back, like the negativity. Like people can dwell in the past. Oh, I would have been this. I would have been that. It's just like, well, that's done. You know.
Like, so sorry to interrupt you, but like you will never know what will happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Let's say if you didn't get injured and you did. Ran fast for your 400, but let's say I
could quit the sport though.
You could quit the sport, exactly. You get bored of it and
for
quit.
nothing, or I could get something.
So you can get an accident and die.
Yeah, I know exactly. Okay, it's like you got to be a bit more positive, man. I'm telling this to you. Please, no more mention about getting hit with buses. I need you for a 4x400 meter relay, my friend.
No, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So you never know what the other alternative will turn out anyway.
It happened to me though. Like when I done leaving cert, I didn't actually get the result that I was thinking I was going to get, and I got my last college choice, and that was National College of Ireland. But it actually worked out the best thing in the world for me. Okay, then went to DCU, done. So basically, National College of Ireland, I done business management degree. Finished that, everything was great, but I didn't actually have a clue what I wanted to do. So then I got recommendations to do my masters in e-commerce in DCU. Best decision ever could have done. Straight after that, got into a company called Retail Excellence Ireland. Best place I ever could have started. Like the people who I met, like I got to travel the world with those, like some really good experiences. Went to United Nations, e-commerce Europe, Google, Facebook, Amazon. You're dealing with every single top online manager in the country and across Europe. So that really stood to me, and those are the kind of relationships I've kind of taken, built on those. With a new company at the moment, Flexify, absolutely loving it, to be fair.
Nice.
The way that I kind of show like job satisfaction is I never have the Sunday night fear, you know, sort of way. And my boss at the moment, I don't really look at him like a boss, you know. His door is always open, like he doesn't have an office. He sits in the middle, like
boss is very. It's a very
mate. He's a mate.
Yeah, it's a mate. Yeah, he's a mate. He's a mate. Yeah, that's.
But he gets it. He gets it as well, like because like he obviously respects like running. It's an important part of my life. If something's going on, I can send him a text. I can talk to him. If you need to work from home,
so there's
like,
a good culture going on.
No, there is like everybody.
Yeah.
Because like in a previous role, I wasn't happy, like leaving when I left. Up until the end of like the last role, like everyone knew like I wasn't happy, like my parents, everything. I wasn't myself, you know. I wasn't jumpy, cheery, happy, you know, this sort of way. But that kind of portrays across different aspects of your life. Even like friends, for example. Dave, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Don't know. I don't really want it. Same with like the running or whatever. Like Adam Halpin, he'd probably understand it, like because he was like, how's work going? Like, and he kind of knew the situation, and like it wasn't good. Like my head just wasn't in a good mindset. But then I got injured as well. With that, got bad injuries like over the past year, and like it's just I always put on a happy face, but like sometimes you're not okay.
You're not okay
inside that sort of way.
Yeah.
But
and going back to what we were talking about earlier, look after yourself first.
Yeah, look after yourself, and also what we're saying is like with your friends, family, your training partners, just check in with them. You know. Like everybody could see.
Yeah, it's actually, sorry to interrupt again, but it's in the hard, like you wouldn't know if they're going through the hard time because you're so vulnerable.
Yeah.
In going, like I hate when people say, right, he or she doesn't text me. You don't know what's going on in their life, and it's you that needs to text them because you don't know what's going on in their life. Do you get me? So I just don't like when people say
it doesn't cost anything.
Doesn't cost
There's
anything.
no effort. Like if somebody says, "Geez, no, I'm too busy to get back to you," it's like, were you too busy? 10 seconds, send a text, pick up the phone, send an email.
Yeah.
Like that pisses me off in work as well. If you get
and when people leave you unseen as well, you know who I'm talking about.
It doesn't happen too often, but when it does,
well, not unseen, just.
I know, like there's no reason for that, like, you know.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
And it can be irritating. Like somebody comes to you, but they only talk to you when they need something. You know, sort of way. It's like, you're great, or you're really, really respectful to somebody over the years, and it's like, what about that?
That actually does not bother me. I don't know about you.
What?
Your ass cramping as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to stand up a little?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Really, because I've been switching position for like 5 hours already. It's cold in here. No, but back to what I was saying. When people come back to me for help, that's that shows who they are and who I am. Do you get me? So I
still always will help somebody out, regardless.
Yeah.
Like
regardless, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I don't believe in being an asshole to somebody just for the sake of it. Like, if somebody kind of done wrong by you, like, you don't have to do that, you know. Just because one person does it, it's not going to help anybody else in the long run. And like, people talk as well, like, you know.
And from lately, I actually been, if someone being an asshole, I actually feel empathy for them, because I kind of feel a sense of what's going on. Like, I know they're not in a good place.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I know maybe, I don't know, something is going bad at home or in work, or you know, something, because they, like, happy people doesn't go around and criticize others. You get me? Yeah. Happy people does not do that. Yeah. I can tell you for sure. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's only people that's vulnerable, that's something that's happening in their life. They're the other one that carry that storm inside them, and so they're trying to spread negativity around. Do you get me?
But like, that doesn't help anybody.
Absolutely, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And like, that's, if somebody's negative or somebody's real kind of pessimistic, like, it's like cancer. You know? It really is, you know.
It is,
and it doesn't do good for anybody. It's not going to do good for them, you know. So, I don't know. Like you said, like, if you can help them, you just got to do your part.
Deadly.
So.
Nice one, man. Anyway, last question is, one thing we can all do today to make the world a better place.
Big question.
So, I know it is.
from what perspective? Like, you literally, you probably said. I know you probably said all the things, all the answers that you. I think this comes back to your last podcast with Lauren, the Matthew McConaughey piece. Because if you're focusing on being the best person that you can be, that's going to help somebody out. So that's going to help, whether it be in work, college, friends, you name it. So if you're constantly striving to improve yourself, like, that's going to help somebody else, you know.
Help somebody else,
like, if you can upskill yourself, for example, like with coaching, that's going to help the juvenile athletes, for example. If I do maybe a college course, that's going to help, say, work scenario. Like, but then friends and family, you just got to just own yourself. Own yourself, you know, sort of way. Like, you take that leadership, that motivation role, and like, they'll respect you for that, you know. And I get a kick or a buzz. It sounds weird, but like, if I'm helping, say, business with, like, basically, like, if I'm helping a business or something, and if I'm giving them advice, information, and if I can see them do well, I get a kick. I get a bit of a buzz from that, because I get satisfaction that I'm actually helping somebody, so I can see kind of actionable results. And same with could be athletics, for example. If I go over and beyond to help an athlete to do something, if they need a bit more support, funding, example, like, I have a duty to obviously help the athletes, like with the track and field role, and same for the squad in general. Like, if we need something, we need more equipment, we need maybe physio on site, just kind of small stuff like that. But if I can see that's actually paying off dividends, I'm happy with that, you know. But you just gotta help other people, you know.
Absolutely. That's a very good answer. For me, it would be around the same as well. Exactly what you said. So what I'm trying to do is make a pattern.
Yep.
So by you saying that, I'm going to say the exact same thing as well, but from a different angle. So by
you're always learning them.
Yeah. No, but for example, let's say, like, for me, I always I like to do things without expectations, or don't want anything in return.
Yeah, 100%.
So by doing that, let's say you actually, funny story, you bought me this cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Okay. And you didn't want any money. You didn't want me to pay you.
No.
Right. So I'm gonna do the same thing for someone else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy them a cup of coffee, and I won't let them pay me. And so hopefully they do the same thing to their mates, and that pattern keeps following. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So positivity is
it's
contagious,
you know?
And so that's what I want. So one thing we can all do to make the world a better place is repeat the pattern of the positive pattern. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it's kindness, whether it's empathy, I don't know, just Yeah, I'm blank.
Just put literally
Yeah.
put yourself in somebody else's shoes.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if you're selling online, for example, in a business, and if you're kind of questioning, if you're doing like a digital marketing campaign, sometime on Facebook, Instagram, you think, oh yeah, this is great, or whatever, but then you're kind of questioning, like, is this going to work? If you're the one selling this product, and if you have to question it,
Being the
put yourself
consumer-centric,
in the customer's shoes. Like, if you're confused about what you're trying to tell a customer, God only knows what the customer is going to think. It's not going to work. But literally just focus on yourself, look out for others, and don't expect anything in return. Like, there's no reason. If I can help somebody, I'm more than happy, but I don't expect them to go over and beyond. These things, it'll click over time. It'll come back at some stage, but like, don't be hungry, or don't be, I don't know, kind of selfish, really, really selfish, just looking for kind of quick wins, people to help you, because
like shortcuts and stuff. Yeah.
So just be yourself.
Absolutely.
People respect that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So is there anything else you want to share with everybody before we close on?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, we covered everything. It's always been an hour, so nothing to add on, no?
Thanks for this.
No worries, man.
Fair.
I really enjoy that podcast, man, honestly. I've known you for less than 3 months or something like that, so it's been amazing training with you and hanging out with you. So right, guys, for those of you who's watching, thank you so much for tuning in. And David, again, I'm grateful to have you on the show.
Cheers.
And I will see you guys later. All the best.